You look marvelous. I do, thank you. Alright, what's up everybody? It is I, your handsome host, Peter Joseph here, for a late Tuesday night video right here on the Peter Joseph YouTube Wrestling channel, youtube.com/Peter Joseph. Make sure you like the video, hit the subscribe button down in my pants, otherwise known as the description box below. So do it now, or forever hold your peace. So, subscribe to my channels, leave a comment on this video or any one of my videos on my respective channels from the past, now, and in the future. Conan, but don't leave stupid comments, you get sent to the Shadow Realm, beaten severely. And then Satan Ozzy will come out, kick your ass, and then eat your soul. So don't do it. Go do it somewhere else. Share the video all over the internet. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Don't forget to tap and slap that bell to turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one. Because if you miss anything, you suck and you're SOL. I think we all know what that means by now. I don't think I need to tell you after 18 goddamn years. Or 17 years, whatever it may be. 17, 18, 16. For as many years as I've been on this website, you should know what SOL means. And if you don't know, oh, you got problems. And that's pretty much it. And for our newbies out there, if you've never seen my channel before on YouTube or ever, then if you like music and movies and wrestling and all that other good shit, you came to the right place. So if you're thinking about subscribing, please do tell your friends as well to subscribe to the channels. And when you do, as we say in the business, because it is a business, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, grab the tasty cold one. Whether it may be, it's on the floor, it's right next to you, right in front of you. I don't know where it is, but it's that way. But grab yourself a nice tasty cold one, put your feet up and enjoy the show. If you like it, great. You know, then go watch somebody else. But you'll stay because you got nothing else to do in your garbage fucking life. And if you do, great. Do that then. Stop wasting your time on me. You're wasting your life, you're wasting your energy, wasting your voice. So nobody cares to hear what you have to say for like an hour or two. I mean, people don't like me talking for like an hour, but at least I'm talking about a topic. Whether it be wrestling, music, movies, whatever it may be. I'm doing this as a hobby. I'm not doing this just to freaking talk for an hour because I'm bored or anything. No, I'm actually, doing what I love, and that's talking about professional wrestling and the Mets, the Jets, whatever it may be. Because I'm doing this as a hobby. I'm not doing this to make money, because you really don't make that much money here on YouTube. I mean, yeah, with donations and super chats and all this shit, yeah, you make some residual money, but, you could be out doing something else, like an actual job. But if people want to be on YouTube and make money, I mean, God bless them, but you have to be really, really lucky to make it on YouTube. And, not a lot of people are successful unless your name is PewDiePie! Or, Sexy Phil or H.C. Bailey or people like that. People that actually have been here for a while and they have cars and everything. Because they have sponsors too, so. They worked hard to get their stuff. Most of you people just sit at home, do nothing, and then you make YouTube videos, and then on the side you do nothing. Just sit at home and do nothing. Like a few people I know. But I don't sit at home and do nothing. I got a job, so, gotta pay for my phone, gotta pay for my internet, and the rich man's cable, of course, and, to eat, too, so. Can't do it. Can't sit at home all day and do nothing. You gotta do something. If you have your doctor appointments, you got this and that. At least you're doing something, but it's not productive, or semi-productive. But if you're gonna sit at home all day and then fire up YouTube for 2-3 hours, getting drunk or smoking or whatever you're doing just to pass the time, you're wasting it. You could do something else for 2-3 hours, like go out to a club or go to a wrestling show or do something. you're stuck at home thinking of me or thinking about something else, or somebody else, or whatever. You're wasting your time. Yeah, you got a lot of subs. Great, good for you. But you can't do anything original. The same fucking topics, same fucking people, or the same topic. I'm talking about wrestling, but it's a different show. I'm just giving an opinion every night or every whatever. You don't like it, just get off my channel. Get off my dick. Unless it's your mom or your girlfriend, but that's another story for another time. But just don't watch me. But you will because, like I said, you got nothing to do with your time. Be productive. Get out of the house for once in your life and not worry about what I do in my life. Go live your life and let me live my life. Simple as that. But you want to act like criminals on the internet, you're gonna be treated like a criminal in real life. Just saying. Because I know people who have gone to jail. I mean, if you want to do that, be my guest. I've done nothing wrong, so I have a clean slate, so I'm good. Moving on. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, hope you had a great day. It was hot here in the Northeast. 93 degrees today. Still hot here in the Northeast. I don't even know. It's 78 degrees on my TV. Not on my TV, but 78 degrees outside. Shit, feels like Phoenix. In January, mind you. But it's May the 20th, 2026 if you're watching on the replay. But hope you had a great day. And if you're in the Northeast, one more day. Tomorrow will be on the final hot day for about a week. I mean, we get up to 75 by about Tuesday, Wednesday next week. But tomorrow's going to be thunderstorms and it's going to be raining to cool it down. Thursday and Friday, pretty much from Thursday on, going to be on and off. And then cold. After tomorrow, it kind of gets cold. Down to like 60 by Memorial Day weekend. It's going to be wet. Ugh, not a great weekend up here in the Northeast. If you want to go to the beach or you want to go to the amusement parks or anywhere, might as well just stay in, watch wrestling. But if you go to Double or Nothing, have fun. I think it'd be inside, so I think there's a dome over it. I don't know how that's going to work because it is supposed to rain on Sunday, so they might have to close that dome. I don't know if Louis Armstrong Stadium has a dome over it. So Double or Nothing might be double or wet. I might have to look at the stadium's the statistics and the layout of the stadium because I think Arthur Ashe Hall Stadium has a dome. I think they can close it so it doesn't rain. Especially for the tennis center and everything because it's around the tennis center. So Tony Khan, you might have to make some last minute changes and put it somewhere else. I don't know what's gonna happen Sunday. So if you see me coming on video saying Double or Nothing might be canceled or it might be delayed because of rain, I don't know where they can go. I think they could go to Arthur Ashe Hall Stadium. Like I said, I think it has a retractable dome or it has some type of thing where it doesn't get wet. I don't know, but I think they can go to Arthur Ashe Hall Stadium, I think. But Louis Armstrong Stadium, which is almost directly next to it, somewhere around that, in the tennis center. I don't know. So Sunday might be a little bit dicey for Double or Nothing, but we'll keep abreast. I said breast. Keep abreast of the weather for this weekend for Double or Nothing, and we'll see what happens. And that's pretty much it. Alright, after almost 10 minutes of spiel, but I had a point to make because of the weather and Double or Nothing coming up this weekend. NXT was pretty damn interesting tonight. We'll get to that tomorrow night after a Dynamite and Collision because it's a 3-hour show. Oh, that's going to be annoying. And we'll talk about Dynamite and Collision on Thursday and everything else. I already talked about Raw, but now, ladies and gentlemen, after now 10.5 minutes of spiel, which you clipped and because you got nothing else to do, it is time for your really late and really far out of date AEW from last week and Collision reviews for May 13th and May 16th, 2026. Alright, let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. Dynamite, I thought was pretty damn good last week. And it emanated from Harrah's Cherokee Casino. I've been to Harrah's in Atlantic City. Great little rinky-dink place, you know, with the pool, the nightclub. You know, some good stuff, but, you know, the pool is mainly the nightlife down there. Unless you want to take a bus, like the little jitney bus. It's like $5 there and back, I think, to go to other hotels for nightlife. I mean, if you want to do that. Or you just take it, you know, somewhere and then go down the boardwalk and just hang out. In AC, but it is what it is. But I've been to Harrah's. It's a good time. I wanted to go to the pool nightclub. I could have got in for free, but I got sick that night. And, that was that. You know, Rosa went down there to check it out. I got better like an hour after I was sick, and I was like, alright, you want me to come down? Nah. She came back up, we watched some movies, and then got the business done, if you know what I mean. We got our own nightlife, you know what I mean. Yeah. It's a good time. We move on. Alright, so, from Harrah's Cherokee Casino in Asheville, North Carolina. Actually, Asheville, North Carolina. It's a good place, but I digress. Alright, so our commentary team on Dynamite, the man behind the mask, Excalibur, Tony Baloney, Schiavone, or Tony Schiavone for you people that love Jericho, and the man from Red Hook Brother, that's Taz. Red Hook Brother. Okay. Alright, so we got that. Alright, the big thing for Dynamite. Hi guys, it's me, Darby Allin, just to wake you guys up. I just want you to know I'm gonna be a fighting champion. Did you see what I did over the weekend? I beat that guy Pac, and then you know, I beat up, you know, I defended my world title again, and I did my best, and I'm still the champ. I weigh 156 pounds, soaking wet. I live in Seattle in my car. But I did it for you guys, ha! Okay. Yeah, Darby was on that prank show that Anthony Davis has. That him and Sting. I think Sting was pranking Darby, and Darby used his actual real name, his government name. What? Interesting. I didn't see it, but I saw clips of it. I'm like, meh. I used a stun gun. Nothing that Darby's ever had, you know, or ever been used on, but, you know, because Darby's crazy. I'm crazy, guys! Okay. Alright, so we got that. We got the Owen Hart classic brackets for the men and the women. Some interesting matchups there. We'll get to that in a minute. And that's that. Alright, so we start the show off properly with, well, the man who might lose his hair this weekend, Maxwell Jacob Fartknocker, MJF. He was on SNY today. Oh boy, Sal Licata, you pissed your pants, boy. You fucker. We got that. Speaking of pissing their pants, fuck you, Cleveland Cavaliers. How do you choke a 22-point lead in the fourth quarter to the Knicks? Oh, that's right, you got cast by Mr. Danhausen. Now you deserve to get swept. So, Knicks win 115-105, I believe, 104. Knicks take the first game at the Garden. Game 2, Thursday night, on whatever channel it's on. So, All I'm going to say is pack your bags for the NBA Finals, New York Knicks fans. Where are you going to go? It's either going to be San Antonio or Oklahoma City. So we'll see. San Antonio won that great Game 1. Game 2, I think, is coming up later tomorrow night on TNT. I don't know what channel it is, ESPN. Somewhere. So we got that. So basketball is about to end pretty much in another couple weeks. Hockey, I haven't really been checking out the NHL playoffs lately, and I really don't care. As long as basketball and hockey are done, I'll be glad. The Mets, 5-0 lead, and what happens, Nolan McLean gives up an inside-the-park grand salami with extra Washington, D.C. cheese. And from there, Nats scored 5 straight runs, and they win 9-6 tonight. And the Mets had a golden chance to leapfrog the Marlins to get to 4th place, and because the Marlins lost to the Braves, who won again. Oh, JD, fuck you, man. Fuck you and your fucking team. But that's another story for another time. But yeah, we get that. Alright, I went on a tangent, but we move on. Alright, so MJF was asked by Renee Paquette about putting his hair on the line, or whether he would put his hair on the line against Darby for the World Heavyweight title at Double or Nothing. Pretty much bypassed that question, and he goes in the back. He's like walking, in the back area, and he's walking past. We see like Bryce Remsburg, bald. Rick Knox, bald. He runs up, does a Psycho Killer! Tommaso Ciampa, bald. Johnny Hungy, bald. Like 50 people that were bald, and then he runs into Ricochet and says, you might actually look good being bald. Bald is beautiful, but not as beautiful as me. I'm like, shut up, Ricochet. Shut up. And I told Max on Twitter, hey, if you lose, you're feeling, a little bit jittery about being bald, go talk to William Yuta. That motherfucker is bald. And he still can't get a date. Him and Stokely Hathaway, man. They get no hoes. Sucks to be them, right? Love you, Stokely. Not like that, but Alright, so we got that segment. We move on with that. Alright, then we go inside the arena. We have a 10-man tag team match. This was insane. I'm not going to get to everything in this match. So we had FTR, the tag team champions, fuck the Revival, Dax the Axe Harwood, and Cash, he's got a Glock! Wheeler teams up with, guess who? The Psycho Killer, Tommaso Ciampa, and the War Dogs, the Bullet Club, to sweep me for the love of God. That's Clark Connors and David Finlay, because Gabe Kidd's still injured. Alright, so they team up against the Young Bucks. Matthew Nicholas Jackson and, well, one part of the conglomeration, that's the Gimmick Steel himself. Now, before this video, he was not a champion, but now he is 1/3 of the Ring of Honor 6-man tag team champions, and that is, the AEW Trios champions, sorry. But, yeah. So they are the AEW Trios champions. And that is, the Gimmick Steel himself, Orange Cassidy. That guy. And Threshold and Cage, Edge and Christian. Alright, so we start off with a big old brawl. Why not? Going to the crowd, everybody's going nuts. I'm like, this ain't Stadium Stampede. But we get to the end of the match. Let's get to the end. I'm gonna skip right to the end. The Bucks hit Stereo Flippy Nippity Doos, and then Orange Cassidy and Christian put their hands down their pants, and I bet they felt nuts. Yes, they're Cisco, yes, they're Ebert, and they're giving 2 thumbs up. We were talking about that in Issa's chat today, Talk about that song, the Bloodhound Gang, and I brought up the roof is on fire. We don't need no water, let the motherfucker burn! Basically. In between talking about the Darkness, the great band that they are, and Tristan Angels, the great man he is. He follows me on Twitter. Good man. Order! Basically. I was saying, Tristan Angels is like the splitting image of the lead singer of the Darkness. And he does. I am not kidding you. We are going berserk with it. And then we're talking about that. And then I'm bringing up, he looks like the lead singer of the Darkness. And then, Issa's like, yeah, he kind of does. And then she's bringing up the only Darkness hit that we all know. I believe in a thing called love! That song. Even though they have many other hits, not number one in the USA, but, they have other hits. But, I'm just saying. They're still around. They kick ass, but, not as great as that one song that came out. It was like, one song, one hit wonder, bye. But their videos are just... That video, and I looked up other videos that they've done. They have a song called Friday Night, not That Friday Night by, what's her name? What's her name? Last Friday Night, that chick. Katy Perry. And, Katy Perry's videos are kind of, some of them are weird. Especially that video. But the Darkness is, I believe in a thing called love. That video is weird. I looked at Friday Night, I'm like, it's a continuation from that? I'm like, holy shit. They're like on a deserted island, they have a couple of hot Hawaiian chicks. And then at the end of the video, they're basically getting eaten. They're in a cauldron, like spa type thing. It's kind of funny. I thought you took me to the spa. I took her to the spa. He put me in the vegetable steamer. The same thing! Ding! Okay. I watch too much TV. I digress. Alright, so, getting in the end, the Bucks hit stereo flippy dippity doos, Christian and Orange Cassidy put their hands down their pants, but Christian throws Orange Cassidy over the top on everybody, because Christian don't give a fuck. Then he hits a flippy dippity doo, and then Edge walks into a shatter machine, and they go for the cover. Orange Cassidy had to make the save, barely. Then we get a whole bunch of knockdowns. Clark Connors spears Dax the Axe Harwood by mistake. Oops. And then he gets triple super kicked into a spear from Edge. Hey kids, it's Edge. And 1, 2, 3. The good guys get the win in under 16 minutes. It was a wild and crazy match. And I gave it 3.25 out of 5 stars. And we're off and running on Dynamite. And that's I got an itch. That's pretty much it. And we move on. This week, by the way, 3-hour show from Portland, Maine. Great city in the top of the United States. That's where it is. What's up there, dude? And we move on. Alright, if I can get my notes to work, that'd be nice. I mean ice! Don't worry, she's not here. She took the night off. She is sleeping, but she's not here. Yeah, whatever. Anyway. So, we have that. Yeah. But, yeah. The rest of the show I actually thought was pretty good. Darby's match, again, great title match. And, we have that. Alright, I'll get my notes in order in just a second, but But AEW, let me talk about AEW for a second before I get my notes back in order. AEW is just amazing television right now. And WWE, besides last night's episode of Raw, Monday Night Raw, which was great with, Beastie coming back. Nobody thought that he was coming back this early. We all thought that he might come back for one more match at SummerSlam. But he made his comeback and everything was good. That's good for Raw. If we could get that consistently, it'd be great. But SmackDown is just unbearable to watch for 3 hours. And we had to put up with SmackDown for 3 hours for another couple weeks. Another month, basically. And then July 4th weekend, we get a 2-hour show. Is it going to be better? Hopefully, but 3-hour shows are just... they're hard to get through sometimes. And when AEW does Dynamite and Collision, by the time we get to Collision, we're like, oh, we gotta watch another fucking hour? Damn! That's what it is, but... and your food is ready. So that's that. Alright, so... we shall see what happens with that. And we move on. Yeah, probably gonna have to get my backup notes on this, but... this So, like I said, my computer's aging, so I am in line to get a new computer pretty soon, so where we get that. But, yeah. Moving on from there. Alright, let me get my soon-to-be old phone. Because this phone's actually going to be gone by tomorrow night, because I'm upgrading to a new phone, tomorrow, so. Nice. I'm getting the new iPhone 17 tomorrow. Put my down payment. Just gotta go get the phone, transfer the data from this phone to that phone. I am good to go. Hopefully be good to go by tomorrow night, if not Thursday. So, hopefully everything's good, and the transfer can go clear. I can get on YouTube, and, get on my apps that I can get on. If I have two-step verification on some apps, so I might have to worry about that, but it shouldn't be a problem. It should not give me any problems, really, so. Alright, we have that. So, we move on. Alright, there we go. Alright. It's still, my computer is restarting, so. So, I would restart, but I'm not. But everything else was pretty good. Brian Cage came back. What? Remember him? Brian Cage, the Swolverine. He came back, and I think it was the TNT title open challenge that Kevin Knight had. Damn. Brian Cage had that really bad leg injury. He was out for a long time. I think it was out like 6 to 9 months, something like that. Stayed at home, banged his hot wife, Melissa Santos, probably, super spermed her, and she's about to pop out another kid. Who knows with her, she's a nice lady and everything, but, Brian got to do something while he was at home, and, the recovery was it's sort of good, and then there was some complications with his recovery. Finally, he has been cleared to wrestle, and he gave Kevin Knight a beating. And, man, was he built like a fucking truck. Woo! He was hitting the gym while he was recovering. But, great match, but in the end, Kevin Knight somehow, some way, retained the TNT title. How? You got me, Vern. I don't know. But, yeah, Kevin Knight retains... he retains the TNT title. And, that's it. Alright, now I got my notes back in order. That too. And we went. Alright, so, now I got my notes back. Yeah, so the Bucks and company win in under 16 minutes. 3.25 out of 5 stars. Alright, now, let's get back on track. Alright, we go to the Death Riders training area, which seemed like it was on the roof of the building. We see Will Ocean Spray reach for the sky, woohoo! Bam! He's training again on his messed up neck, but actually he's getting better. And he will be, I think he was in action last week, I believe. But he's still training with Jon Moxley, the Continental Breakfast of Champions champion, who talks about how Oakspray used to fly like an eagle to the sea. Okay. Fly like an eagle, because that's what birds do, most birds do. Now he needs to be a bird of prey. Like a vulture. Interesting. So we see that, he's, he's doing his things on his neck, and we see, I think it was William Yuta getting his ass kicked, because, that's what William Yuta does. William Yuta's the type of guy that just sucks. That's how bad he is. We move on. Alright, then we got a video on Stadium Stampede over the years. Insane. Blood. We saw the one where Eddie Kingston almost lit Bryan Danielson on fire. And then we've seen the ones in Jacksonville. Those were crazy. With Kenny hitting One-Winged Angel. I think it was on Sammy Guevara. From the top of this, fucking thing all the way down. It was just crazy. And then Sammy getting run over by a golf cart. By Kenny and company. That's always the one I love. The ones with mostly the ones that are with Jericho. Now they're with Moxley and company. So we're getting another one with FTR and the Don Callis family taking on basically the Bucks and Jericho. With the Elite, Kenny's gonna be there. Jungle Jack Perry. Andrade's in this thing. I don't know why, but how you know? I know, but how you know? I just know. Well, tranquilo. Okay, shut up, Andrade. Meanwhile, alright, we get that. Alright, then the Demand, Ricky Shit, and the Gates of Agony, Bishop, run! I do not Quan, and Toa Leona, and the new AEW National Champion, Mark Davis, they introduce Andrade and the Dogs, Clark Connors and David Finlay, as the other team members. So we're getting a 12-man, I think it might be 14 now, because a 12 to 14-man Stadium Stampede match. Can you say overkill? So we got that. So they get introduced as the other members. Yeah. Andrade's not even wanting to be in this thing. He doesn't even look like he wants to be in this. I mean, he is the IWGP Global Champion. Shouldn't be doing something else. Like going after the TNT title, the national title, or even a world title. No! Put him in a ridiculously stupid gimmick match. Barbaric that it is, but... Alright, we move on with that. Alright, then we got Speedball Mike Bailey taking on some guy named Westbrook. Who? I mean, who the fuck is this guy? I mean, really, who the fuck is this guy? Well, he beats him in 70 seconds with the tornado kick and the ultimate weapon. Beats him. Good night, Mr. Westbrook. Not Russell Westbrook from, the old school OKC days. But beats him in 70 seconds. And then Kevin Knight, who was at ringside, gets in the ring. And it's open challenge time. And like I said, Brian Cage comes out, for all people. Why not? They had their match. And Kevin Knight, like I said, somehow, someway, retains the title after the UFO splash. And, get an apron superplex. That was nice. From the UFO. And then Speedball, Lance Archer get into a big fight on the floor. I bet you we get that match on on Collision this week. Or something. You know how it is. And then Kevin Knight hits a springboard clothesline Then a Hurricanrana out of the corner. Then the UFO Splash 1, 2, 3 to retain the title in under 11 minutes. So back-to-back matches. If you missed it, well, you blinked. You probably missed one of them. That's that. After the match, Speedball gets on the mic, congratulates his partner on the win. And then Kevin Knight's praising Brian Cage. And Brian Cage's like, yeah, I'm back! Yay! You're a heel! Okay, yeah, I'm back! I won't be seen for another 5 months. You know how it is with, Brian Cage. He's there. We see him for a while. He was former 6-man tag team champions with the Gates of Agony, or the Gates of Cage, I call them. And then, just one bad injury, he's out, and then, now he's back in the Don Callis family. But what are you doing him now? Are we going to see him on TV more often, or are we just going to be there? We're just going to have to get Melissa Santos to go back on X. It's like, hey, what are you doing with my husband? I mean, what's this contract situation? I don't even know. Does Brian Cage go to WWE at this point? Do they want him? Do they want him and Melissa Santos? I don't think he should go to WWE. I think he should just stay on the indie circuit. Going to WWE is a death wish for some people. Right there, Malachi Black. I mean, yeah, sorry, Tommy. But now he wants to come back, and now MJF just roasted him. Saying, oh, they went to WWE just for a paycheck, for their WrestleMania moment. So, and, if I'm Tommy Yen right now, I go back to the AEW locker room, I would stay away from a lot of people, one being MJF. Shit. Doesn't hate the guy, but, going back to WWE and then wanting to come back again just because you lost your job. Like, hi, I'm in AEW, you're releasing you because of your contract, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm going to go back to WWE for a cup of coffee, and then I'm like, oh, I want to come back. Can I come back to Tony Khan? Sure, you can come back on my show. I'm going to go snort in the line right now. Take my money. Bring your wife here. What does Tony Khan do with Selena Vega? Does she stay? I would assume she's gonna stay as her husband's manager, and then maybe she goes into the women's division in probably Ring of Honor. I don't think she's gonna do anything on the main roster. I would just put her in Ring of Honor to just get destroyed by Athena, Sucks to be you there, Trinidad, but I mean, can't go with Selena Vega anymore, obviously. And Alistair is gonna be going back to Malachi. And I don't know if they reformed the House of Black with Brody King and Buddy Matthews. Almost like Buddy Murphy. Buddy Matthews is coming back. He just can't come back till October, from what I heard. He did come back, I think, what promotion was that? WSW, because we're in Australia, where Ash by Elegance, Priscilla Kelly was there. Somebody else was there. I forget, but I think it was the Ryan and Dolph Ziggler. Ryan and my big brother, who parked Issa's car perfectly. Nick Nemeth. They're all there in WSW over the weekend. That's why we're not getting another live TNA. They're not going to be on that show this week. So why if you like Nick Nemeth and company, why would you want to watch it? Because they're not on the show. So we got that. Alright, so Speedball says that Kevin Knight is a future world champion, and Speedball wants a world title shot. So that's what he gets this Wednesday night from Portland, Maine. But I think it's not even going to be on Dynamite. I think it's going to be the main event for Collision. Okay, but we have to wait 3 hours for that fucking match? Come on, man. Move on. Alright. Then we get the men's Owen Hart Cup brackets. And these are pretty interesting matches. On, I believe, the left side, we started with Samoa Joe taking on Will Oceanspray. These matches, I believe, will be at Double or Nothing. Joe and Oceanspray and Swerve. Well, Bandito is going to get his revenge after what happened at Supercard against Swerve. So that's going to happen at Double or Nothing. Not for the Ring of Honor World Title, I believe. No, it's not. It's not for the World Title. Not for the Ring of Honor World Title. But just to go into the semis. The finals will be at Forbidden Door, June the 28th, the same day as Slammiversary. But we're seeing Forbidden Door at night at 8 p.m. and Slammiversary is at 3 p.m. That's going to about 6 o'clock-ish. 6, 7 o'clock. And then right into pretty much 0 hour for Forbidden Door. Not that we're going to watch that, but it's good. Alright, so in the other matches, Mark Davis takes on former AEW National Champion Jack Perry. So, little rematch there. And then, this one should be a barn burner. Claudio takes on the big man, Brody King. And the way I'm looking at it, I think the finals are going to be Swerve and Oceanspray, obviously. I think Oceanspray might win this. I give Kenny the belt probably I give Kenny the belt maybe at Forbidden Door. Or I know there's a July pay-per-view called Redemption. So maybe Kenny loses to Swerve, who then loses it right to Oceanspray in London. Or we have Oceanspray and MJF. I mean, we'll see what happens between now and All In, which is I thought it was August 23rd, but it's not. It's August the 30th. Okay. So we got that. So that's the men's brackets. Looks pretty good. Speaking of Jack Perry, we see him holding a knife. That's a knife. Talks about how Mark Davis needed a golf club to beat him, thanks to, I think, a Ricochet. They're going to fight at Double or Nothing in Stadium Stampede. Then, pretty much back to basics. As Jack Perry says, I'm going to move on towards the world title. Well, we'll see. I think he'll win that match. So probably it would be nice to see Oceanspray and Jack Perry in the semifinals. And then Swerve, I think it's going to be Swerve and Brody King. And like I said, at the finals on Forbidden Door, Swerve and Oceanspray. That could go either way. And we got that. We'll talk about the women in a little bit. Alright. Then, speaking of Oceanspray, he's in our next match against Ace Austin, part of the Bang Bang Gang. Also, former member of the Bullet Club. ABC, former TNA Tag Team Champions multiple times with our good buddy Chris Bay. Follows me on Twitter too. Good man. Hope he gets better. I want Chris Bay back in the wrestling ring, doing what he does best. Doing flippy dippity doos. Hopefully he doesn't break his neck and paralyze himself, but he's got to be cautious now. But who knows if Chris Bay is ever going to come back to wrestling. Like the same thing with Adam Cole, baby. I don't think we're going to see Adam Cole back in a wrestling ring ever again. I'm not saying he's just going to come out and cut a promo. I'm talking about wrestling. I don't think Adam Cole is going to be back in wrestling for a while. I missed a couple of episodes of Chugs, it's Chugs. Chugs? His alter ego, Chugs, on Twitch. I don't think anybody's asked him about, how he's I assume everybody asks how he's doing, and he's doing okay, the physical therapy and stuff like that. But, I just don't know if he's gonna come back to, AEW anytime soon, to wrestle. He's been out pretty much almost a year now. With that, concussion, whatever it is, vertigo, I don't know what it is, but it's been out since, it's going to be out, I think next month will be 1 year since we've seen Adam Cole in the wrestling ring. And sadly, his last match was against freaking, the Protostar, Kyle Fletcher and everything, and Kyle, it wasn't his fault, but Kyle Fletcher dumped Adam Cole on this freaking dome. And then, Adam Cole woke up the day of All In, and he's like, I don't know, something don't feel right. And he had to drop was it the TNT title? It was the TNT title. What, I always talk about the what ifs of wrestling. What if Adam Cole did not get hurt at all, did not, forfeit the title and, basically kind of retire? What if Adam Cole was good to go at All In? Him and Fletcher would have put on an epic match that night. I don't know if Fletcher would have still been champ, but, won the title. What could have been? That's that. Ace Austin and Will Ospreay, great match for under 16 minutes. Great. Ospreay gets the win. Not with the hidden blade. He wins after Ace Austin hits a springboard spin kick to head. Excuse me for near fall. But Ospreay kicks him in the arm. Ow. Then he beats him with a cross arm breaker. That's something you don't see from Ospreay. And made Ace Austin tap to basically like a code red. So he gets the win. And then after the match, he picks up Ace Austin. Code of Honor, you love to see that. And then Samoa Joe and the Ops come out. And it was basically Anthony Bowen and there was Shibata. No sign of Hook. I was like, what's Hook doing? Hook is probably in the back eating Doritos. I don't know. Joe says Ospreay could have had a first round bye, but he made his decision. He's going to fight Joe. He's going to fight him. And it's time for Pain at Double or Nothing. But the rest of the Ops start going to the ring, but the Death Riders come out before things get a little bit, heated. And then Ospreay just looks at Moxley and seems to think there actually might be something good out of this. Yeah, you're getting your ass handed to you. Most likely. I think they're going to help him win the tournament. I don't know about help him win the title. If he does win the title, I think we're going to get Ospreay and Moxley, either title for title or something. Because Moxley's supposed to face Kyle O'Reilly, I think this week on Dynamite for the Continental Breakfast title. Kyle might win, and then Moxley's gonna be like, I gotta get a title back. He's gonna be a little antsy. He's like, I need gold back. So what better way to turn on Ospreay, and then that'll probably be out or possibly Wrestle Dream in October I believe in Toronto. But that's where Edge is going to supposedly retire. I don't know about Christian retiring. I think both of them might retire, or I know Edge maybe, but we'll see. Moving on. Alright, we're in the back. Max interrupts Kensuke Takeshita, praising him for what he's been doing as of late, and Takeshita says, I'm going to win the AEW World title from Darby later on, and then MJF's like, hey, I'd be a great first challenger. So Takeshita's like, yeah, whatever. So he goes to leave, and then he gives Don Callis his Dynamite diamond ring? I guess we're not going to fight for that anymore? I don't know. So then Andrade comes in, and then him and MJF, and him, going off again. How you know? I know. How you know? How you know? How you know? Stop saying that! And then basically, Andrade says, I want the world title as well. Everybody wants the world title. The guy in the 15th row, he wants it. Alright, so we'll get that. Now, let's go to the women's Owen Hart bracket. This could change, because one of these people, being Persephone, is not medically clear. I think she had a match. But I think I think it's her that has an injury. Or maybe one of the Stardom or New Japan chicks. But, alright, so here's the left side of the bracket. Persephone is taking on Hazuki from Stardom. That should be pretty interesting. The TBS Women's Champion, the Resident Fun Girl. Boom. Bam! Widow Nightingale takes on the New Japan Strong Women's Champion and good friend of hers, Alex Windsor! That's gonna be fun. My fourth amazingly hot Asian wife, Mina! Mina Shirakawa takes on, she takes on somebody she should not be facing, and that's the forever Women's Champion, Athena, who's, as of this video, 1257 as Ring of Honor Forever Champion. She retained that supercard in that 6-way survival of the fittest match, pinning Maya World, but she eliminated Billy Starks before hitting the super O-face on Maya World to retain the title, but Billy was pissed. So, I don't know where Athena goes from here, but we have that. That's on the right side, and to round out the right side, Sky Blue is taking on Saray. Former IWGP Women's Champion. That should be fun. Sky Blue's gonna get your butt kicked. So, I think on the left side, definitely gonna be Willow and possibly Persephone, unless Persephone cannot fight in this tournament. Then we got a wild card taking on Hazuki, and guess who that could possibly be? Mercedes Moné. Mark my words, this might happen. I don't know, but if Persephone can fight in the tournament, she probably will be Hazuki. Then it'll be Willow Nightingale and Persephone. That'd be great in the semis. And on the right side, pretty much gonna be Athena and Saray in the semis. I think it's gonna be Athena and Persephone Athena and Willow in the semis. But, and there's a big but, and it might stink, if Persephone cannot fight in this tournament and they take her out, I do believe that Mercedes Moné will come back, beat Hazuki, beat Willow Nightingale in the semifinals, and then we got the rematch of all rematches from last year's semifinals, and that'll be Mercedes Moné and Athena, and Mercedes can win it all over again, and go to all in, possibly face Thekla. I don't really like that at all, but I'd rather see Athena take on somebody. Maybe Alex Windsor wins the belt in her hometown. So we have, two hometown people in Alex Windsor and Ocean Spray, a married couple becoming champions at a pay-per-view. Remember, we saw, well, not married, but they were together. Adam Cole Baby and Britt Baker Baby won the first Owen Hart Cup. Haven't seen that because Adam Cole is, doing Twitch. Britt Baker's, pulling teeth. I don't know when Britt Baker's coming back. She's still technically on the AEW payroll. Can you believe that? She's on the payroll, but Tony Khan's like, I don't know what to do. Release her, get her out of that contract so she can go to WWE. You know she's gonna go to NXT. I think she really wants to get out of that contract, and she wants to go to NXT or possibly the main roster. I mean, great. She would have epic matches in NXT with Lola Vice, with Kendall Gray, with with Delta. I mean, everybody. Even on the main roster, she had epic matches like Julia and Tiffany. Her and Tiffany Stratton would be epic. Her and Blake Monroe, Mariah May, be epic, because they've done it before. Maybe we get something with Paige and Britt Baker? I have a feeling Britt Baker might be in WWE. I don't know about this year, but I think she'd be in WWE pretty soon. Maybe by next year, but I don't know. Alright, so like I said, the women's brackets as of now, this could change with Persephone's injury. So I think she has a shoulder injury or some type of injury. Persephone and Hazuki from Stardom. Willow Nightingale and Alex Windsor. Mina Shirakawa and Athena. And Sky Blue will take on Saray. That should be epic. So at Double or Nothing, we got Willow and Alex Windsor. And like I said, the finals are at Forbidden Door. But I do believe Persephone has an injury. I don't know if she's going to be back for the tournament. We have to see. But if she does, if there is a that I'll get out of my mouth. That's what she said. If Persephone cannot do the tournament and they take her out, Mercedes Moné will most likely take her place. If it's anybody other than Mercedes, I'm like, why? Thunder Rosa. I mean, nothing bad to say about Mel, but, you know, her real name is Melanie. Or Melissa, whatever it is. No, it's Melanie, I think. But anyway, Thunder Rosa, yeah, be nice. You have Thunder Rosa against Hazuki. Kind of a mismatch there, but it is what it is. I would have put Miyu Yamashita, my 5th amazingly hot Asian wife, but, yeah, because I gained her. You know what I mean? Mr. Obari's like, oh, take her. You want Miyu? I go, me want Miyu on my dick. And she went to town. Whew. Holy shit. I was scared for my life. I was like Tony Khan, I am scared for my life. My dick was scared, but, you know, I had a good time. I'll go down with a fight, you know. I'll go down with a ship if I have to, you know, go to war with Miyu Yamashita in the bedroom. Holy crap. You know, she gives me those, you know, you see Miyu give those wicked evil faces. Probably does that in bed. She's like, take off your clothes now. Now! I'm like, okay, shh. Okay. But we got that. Alright, so that's the women's bracket. Then we go to the conglomeration. Not sure which of them should go for the tag team titles. You know, we have Kyle, we have Orange Cassidy, we have Betty! He's there. Willow Nightingale is going to win the Owen Hart Cup for the 2nd time because she won the 2nd one. This is the 4th one, I believe. I forget it. Well, we got that. And then Mark Briscoe, the funky chicken himself. Jay Briscoe. Speak for the sky, boy. Alright, so Mark is back. He's going to take on Tommaso Ciampa in an Anything Goes match. Tomorrow night on a 3-hour show. That's going to be insane. You know Mark's going to be bloody and shit. Why is it Mark Briscoe in the tournament? A lot of interesting names not in the tournament. Mark being one of them. I thought, you know, because he's usually in every tournament, like the Continental Classic, which he doesn't win. A lot of people not in it. I'm like, why? It's like 8 people in a tournament. An 8-man tournament, 8-person tournament, with 2 matches on the first pay-per-view, and then the next 2 matches are gonna be, I assume, this week or after the pay-per-view, and then you have the semifinals. I think the week over the week before Forbidden Door. Then you have the finals at Forbidden Door, and then you lead up to the end of August. But then you have a pay-per-view in between. You have Redemption going into the end of August, which is All In. And then coming out of that, I don't know if they're gonna when All Out might be. Might be, you know, after Labor Day. Can't be before. It could, but you know, I mean, I think they could do All Out September I think it's September 6th, because I think Labor Day is September 7th this year. So they could do All Out right the week after, because there's no football. So I would do it Labor Day weekend, like I used to do. Do it September the 6th. Maybe put Death Before Dishonor in that area on that Friday night, maybe. Probably the 4th. September 4th I would think, be Death Before Dishonor. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah. They haven't announced a date for All Out yet. But I would think they do it September 6th, because there's nothing that weekend. It's just Labor Day weekend. Because football doesn't start until September the 10th. That's a Wednesday night. With the Niners on Thursday night. On Netflix. I get to watch that game. I can't wait. But, I mean, we'll see what happens with that. because they can't do it they can't do it on they can't do it the 13th because that's week 1 of the NFL season. Can't do that. That'd be bad. So I would think if Tony Khan is smart enough, All Out would be September the 6th. Or maybe later in the month. Maybe the 20th or the 27th. I don't know. That's kind of risky doing it during the football season. But we'll see. But I think September 6th should be All Out. From wherever. And then go right. And then you have a 3-week break to go right into Wrestle Dream, which is beginning of October. And then right after that, you got Full Gear. And then we all know Worlds Collide at right before New Year's Eve. So, right after Christmas, pretty much. I think my birthday this year is on a Thursday night. I think it's on a Thursday night. I'm not gonna look it up. Actually, I could, because I have to. If I can look up my December here. Yeah, it's on a Thursday night. So, my birthday's on a Thursday, Christmas is on a Friday. So, Christmas edition of SmackDown, nobody's gonna watch. Because everybody's gonna be celebrating Christmas dinner, most likely. Thursday, TNA is gonna be probably preempted for... Christmas Eve, TNA and Ring of Honor. Nobody's gonna watch that. New Year's Eve, TNA, Ring of Honor. Nobody's gonna watch. And then Friday Night SmackDown on New Year's night, New Year's Day. New Year's Day. The first SmackDown of 2027 is on New Year's Day. And then the 2-year Netflix anniversary, January the 4th. So, look at that. But yeah, my birthday's on a Thursday this year. Next year will be on a Friday. That's always nice. And then 2028 is a leap year, so that means my birthday will be on a Sunday night. Or Sunday, per se. So I can watch Collision going into my birthday. Well, it'll end, 2 hours before, but a couple hours before. So I'll watch Collision and then count down the hours to my birthday, because after midnight is my birthday. So, not now, but December 23rd to 24th, but it is what it is. Yeah, but some of you already know my birthday, but now for you who didn't, I was born on Christmas Eve. The same day as Jesus Christ the Lord, and a great man, you, sir, playing that electric bass guitar. Let me cue myself from Motorhead. We play rock and roll. Rock out with your cock out. Alright. Thank you, Lemmy. Great man. By the way, Lemmy, how's Ozzy doing? Who's doing alright? Ronnie James Dio, doing alright? You having fun up there? Alright. Okay. GOP! Okay, stop. Drink your Jack and Coke. Save me one. I had one Saturday night, by the way. Went to a party and I had a Jack and Coke. I needed one. I haven't had one in a while, so. See? I am a social drinker. So when I go out to the club, I have one drink. I don't have a lot. Unlike certain people I know. She's more of an than I am. I don't drink. I'm a social drinker. So, when I go out to the club or I go to a party, I like to have one drink. At most, I have 2. But after that, I'm done. It doesn't it gives me a little buzz, but, I can't have more than 2 because, I'll start, bleh. But, I have the Pepsi, which is non-alcoholic because there's nothing in here. You can't tell. You think it's flat. There's totally something in here. No, there's not, because I bought this at the store. And I don't have alcohol in my fridge. You think I do? Then come to my house and prove I have alcohol. But you'll go to the slammer if you try. So, take it for what it's worth. You don't know shit. Because it's no alcohol in here, because I don't drink alcohol on my show. One time I did. Because I needed to take off the edge. That's when I had alcohol in the house. But now, I don't have any of it. Because I'm kind of trying to cut down. But we move on. Alright. Sorry for that. Alright, we move on. Alright, so Mark Briscoe, so I think Buddy said that Kyle O'Reilly and Orange Cassidy going after the tag team titles. I think he said that, but sometimes you never know what Buddy can say. But Mark's going to take on Tommaso Ciampa, get some type of revenge this week, and we'll see what happens with that. Alright, now, let's go back to the ring with some... We got Trios Women action. We got the Triangle of Madness, Thekla, the AEW Women's Champion, and her good friends, Julia Hart, my girl Julia Hart, and Sky Blue. They take on Hikaru Shida, not with Chris Cakelander this time. She's with Alex Windsor and Jamie Hayter. Was a decent match, 10-minute match, ends in a DQ. Because Sky Blue breaks up 2 birds, 1 stone. And then Julia Hart gets the Hater Breaker, not the Hater Aid, but the Hater Breaker, whatever that is. They load up 2 birds, 1 stone on Sky Blue. But then Thekla comes in with the AEW Women's title. Boom, right to Jamie Hayter, causes a disqualification in 10 minutes. And then after the match, big old beatdown. And then Widow Nightingale and Mina Shirakawa come out. Basically kicked their ass. I think Willow said some stuff on the mic that I forget. But what is? Alright, then we got a video on Bruce. Okay. You mess with the poor, they say. You get the odds. That's that. Alright, then we get to the main event of Dynamite for the AEW World title. The fighting champion, Darby Allin, takes on Takeshita. Woo! This was great. 15 and a half minutes exactly. Back and forth they went. Don Callis at ringside. Takeshita threw Darby on the announce table. It was just insane. Darby's just breaking his body and shit. Don Callis gives Takeshita the diamond ring, but Takeshita don't want it. He wants to win easy. So we get small package for a near fall. Darby with a code red off the super code red off the top. And then Last Supper for a near fall. Takeshita goes to the outside. Coffin drop connects to a standing Takeshita on the floor. They get back up. Takeshita goes onto the ring steps. But his suplex gets reversed into a scorpion death drop on the steps. Ow! Back in the ring, Takeshita gets his knees up to block the coffin drop again. But Darby grabs a scorpion death lock. Takeshita somehow made the ropes, but Darby goes up top, hits the coffin drop for the 5th time. Well, it goes up, I think he hit it 2 times, but goes up for a lot during the match. But this time he hits the coffin drop. 1, 2, 3 to retain the title in exactly 15 and a half minutes. So he gets the win. Great match. And then afterwards, the ring crew comes out, sets up for the next segment. I was like, are we going into Collision? What's going on here? There's no Collision, obviously. So they set up the table for the contract signing between Darby and MJF. So Darby grabs the mic, wants MJF's decision right here, right now. So I don't know why we started a segment after the show. We could have done this before the show. Tony. So MJF comes right out. Darby wastes no time, signs the contract. He says, Max, get your ass down here and sign this contract. And so MJF comes in the ring. He's like, I can't do it. I don't know. I can't do it. Then he talks about how Darby always believes that making people happy matters, but deep down, the people know that Darby is someone who got lucky. There's some facts to that. At Double Nothing, Max is going to become a 3-time world champion at just a young 30 years old. He's 30? Damn, he don't look 30. Darby promises to make Max bald at Double Nothing. That's enough. Max like, son of a bitch. Alright! And he signs the contract, so it's now official. Then they brawl. I thought that Max was going to put him through the table, but big old brawl leaves Darby laying, and then Kevin Knight comes out to break up a super tombstone pile driver not through the table, but a super tombstone that could have broke Darby's neck, and that basically ends the show. So we got that. So Dynamite, I thought was a great show, and I gave it 7.5 out of 10 stars. Now, if I can go to Collision real quick, I went an hour, and I didn't want to go 1 hour. Not that I gotta do it. I have off tomorrow because I have to. Actually, I don't have off. I do have to leave early tomorrow because I'm getting my new phone tomorrow, so I have to go down to the phone store, get my phone, pay a little bit of money, then I have to activate it. So I have to. I'll probably out most of the day. So, but I do have a little bit of work in the morning, so I'm gonna. This is being recorded late, so by the time you see this, I'm sleeping. But I digress. Where am I here? Okay. Alright, so let's go to Collision real quick, hopefully. Okay. Alright, so Collision wasn't that bad. As Darby took on the Spanish God, Sammy Guevara, for the world title. This was, and Collision was live from the Wicomico Civic Center in Salisbury, Maryland, where Ring of Honor was doing Supercard of Honor. I think we're going to see this week on Ring of Honor TV the tapings from Maryland, I think, but we'll see. Alright, so our usual commentary team for Collision, Tony Baloney Schiavone and Nigel McGuinness, we love, who had a good match with Josh the Goods Woods. He beat him in a Pure Rules match, and that's pretty much it. So we'll see if Nigel gets another Pure Rules title match against Lee Moriarty, who retained, obviously. We get that. Alright, so we're back to the usual schedule for Collision for a while, because there's nothing gonna be preempted for a while, unless we get otherwise told. So we run down the card, and then we get to a promo from after Dynamite. Moxley and the Death Riders complain about not being able to beat, Mox complains about not being able to beat Kyle O'Reilly, and in theory, that means O'Reilly is the next Continental, would be the next champion, but Mox is going to find a way to beat him. Claudio is ready to face Brody King in the Owen Hart tournament, and the rest of the team is ready to face the World. Yeah, William Yuta against the World. Great. William Yuta against the World is like... It's like a snail. It's like the, the tortoise and the hare. You know that the hare could win, right? No. Alright, move on. Alright, then we got the Conglomeration against the Shane Taylor Promotions in a non-title eliminator match for the, they could get a 6-man tag team match for the Ring of Honor 6-man tag team titles. Wait a minute. Shoot. Anyway, moving on. I forget who's the Ring of Honor. Let me check that. I have to check. I have to fact check this. Sometimes I'm gonna get letters. I'm gonna get letters. Oh, Dalton and the Outrunners won the how could I forget? I know now Turbo Floyd and Truth Magnum are gonna unfriend me on Instagram and X. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. So if they unfriend me and unfollow me on X, I'm sorry. But yeah. So the Conglomeration are the AEW Trios champions. Dalton and the Outrunners just won the Ring of Honor 6-man tag team belts from Shane Taylor Promotions. That's the big man Shane Taylor, Garde Bravo, and this time Lee Moriarty, not Sean Dean. So anyway, it's Mark Briscoe, Kyle, and Roddy? No, Orange Cassidy. Against Lee Moriarty. It's Lee Moriarty, Sean Dean, and Shane Taylor, who's not even he's not in the match, but I think it was Carly Bravo. Anyway, long story short, guys, 1333, make a wish. Mark hits Froggy Mode! Then the J-Triller on Sean Dean. 1, 2, 3 to get the win. And that's pretty much it. So, well, no title shot for you there, Shane Taylor Promotions. And that's that. Good match, though. Moving on. Will Ospreay is ready for the Owen Hart tournament. Respects Samoa Joe, but no one is stopping him from winning the whole thing. Well, Swerve might have something to say about that if they face off in the finals. We'll see. Alright. Then the conglomeration is all happy with their win over Shane Taylor Promotions. Wasn't even a title defense, despite what I think it was not Arcady, Lexi Nair. How could you forget? Lexi, get with the program. Anyway, Kyle is ready for Moxley, and Mark Briscoe is ready for Tommaso Ciampa. And then Willow Nightingale wants all the gold, including the AEW Women's Championship. Well, she has to win the tournament again, that she did 2 years ago. We'll see what happens with that. Speaking of Willow Nightingale, she defends her Women's TBS Championship against Red Velvet from Your Mama's Kitchen, who defended her Ring of Honor Women's TV title against Diamante in a pretty good match there. And move on. And basically it's an open challenge. Good match for 13 minutes. Willow gets the win after hitting, Willow hits the final slice for a near fall. Willow gets up, hits the bounce! Period. And basically, she almost hit her so hard that her clothes almost came off. That wouldn't have been fun. That would have been fun, right? Then she hits the bait with the powerbomb. 1, 2, 3 to retain the title in 13 minutes. Decent match. Decent match there. Alright, then we get a look at the women's Owen Hart brackets. Like I already mentioned before, we got that. Then we get a video on the Spanish God, Sammy Guevara. So ready to face Darby for the world title later on in the program. Sammy knows he can beat Darby. He's done it 4 times. So can he do it 5 times, but this time wins the title? Well, if he wins, he faces MJF and shave him bald, but he'll leave a fade. Okay. Look at that. And then, Darby, isn't surprised that Max isn't on Collision, but he's here to defend the belt because he loves this business, and if Speedball wants a title shot, then come on down to Dynamite, which is now official. We get that. Alright, the Psycho Kidu, Tommaso Ciampa, is attacking Mark Briscoe in the back. They brawl into the arena, where Mark whips him into the barricade. Ow. Then he throws him some chairs, along with Tommaso Ciampa. J-Joe's broken up with a low blow. Ciampa carries him down. Then we're going to get a no disqualification match on Dynamite. Look at that. My battery's about to go, guys, so I have to make this quick. The Ops beat Lethal Twist. Okay. Swerve attacks Bandito at Supercard. We saw that. Brody King threatens Swerve with violence, but Bandito says, I'm going to do this on my own. Megan Bain and Lita Cross beat Ali Catch, Halo, and Kaya McKenna. Not in a non-title eliminator match. 5-minute match. It was. Athena and Mina argue. That's that. The Rascals beat the Dogs and Mark Davis. No, actually, the Dogs and Mark Davis get the win over the Rascals. Darby defeats Sammy Guevara to retain the title. That's it. Alright, so Collision, 6.5 out of 10 stars. That's it. Thanks for watching. Bye. Peace.